What's up, Hype Squad? Danny Hype here with another Dragonball Super video. Today's video is a gameplay video of the U7 Gohan deck versus Pan. Now, it's not a live gameplay video because I'm still sick, so I haven't been able to go out of the house and record, but I was lucky enough to jam some games on OCTGN with the U7 Gohan deck. Now, this is the final, or closer to the final version. This is like the third version of the U7 Gohan deck that I've been tinkering with. We've seen the Buhan, we've seen the Gohan Evolved chain. This one is just this low to the ground aggro deck that I kind of want to show you guys how it works. Now I have this version against this pan red green deck, and then I have a second video of a mono red pan deck versus the U7 Gohan deck that I will be posting later. So it's going to be hopefully a double whammy, double video on the Friday just for you guys, because we did just hit 2K subscribers on the channel, which I know it's a small number, but I'm really happy about. But we hit the 2K, so I'm going to be posting 2 videos today on Friday for the weekend, and then on Sunday on my live stream we're going to talk about the changes I made to the deck and what I think the final version should be, with a couple more tinkers after this gameplay. But for now, let's just get right into the game. Alright, so as you can see, standard turn 1, I played my Goku. It's nice to have this Goku out on turn 1. It sucks that you can't draw on turn 1. Not most leaders can, but some leaders that can draw on turn 1 is pretty powerful. But being able to play the Goku and hope he doesn't die. If he died, that'd be probably devastating. But now on turn 2, we get to draw 2 plus 1. We get the +2 off of him, right? And now we can play another Goku to set up for next turn, right? Because next turn is turn 3, and turn 3 sometimes is pretty tricky in what you try to do. Like right now, see, this is what I'm trying to set up. I have 3 energy next turn, right? If I were to play this Piccolo and spit out the 4-drop Piccolo, that would be busted. It's actually very powerful, and the more I play it and the more I get to get it off, this 4-drop Piccolo from the draft box is actually pretty nuts to me. But let's say if I were to play this 3-drop Piccolo, right, and spit out the 4-drop on my next turn, I wouldn't have a battle card to combo off to draw 2. Well, I could combo off the Piccolo. It is kind of a waste because, one, he's a 15k, he's a fighter, he's a 3-drop. The draw 2 is really important. However, if I did combo him off, I wouldn't actually have the bond 2, right, for the Piccolo on my opponent's following turn. However, me having this Goku out right now means that I can swing combo him off and still have 2 guys for the bond 2 for the Piccolo effect. And again, the Piccolo effect, the 4-drop, would be negated the turn he plays, but when I pass turn and it's my opponent's turn, it's live for the rest of the game basically, because it's activate battle and he has barrier. Now, however, in this situation, my opponent decides to leave 2 energy up, which kind of puts a damper on my plans. So now I swing and combo draw 2 first, in hopes that he pays an energy for like maybe a Vegeta, combos out of Vegeta to draw, right? I hope he does that, so that if that happens, then I know he can't, counterplay with denial of hope or anything like that against my my Piccolo. But because he has 2 up, I kind of have to say, you know what, screw it. I can't really go for this play and get him denied, because if he got denied, it would be pretty crappy. And it looks like he goes for... So he goes for a Vegeta the Cruel. So the Vegeta the Cruel, if I played the Piccolo, it might not have been so bad, because then at least my 4-drop would have landed, right? Because he would be able to kill my Piccolo 3-drop with his Vegeta, but he wouldn't be able to kill my Piccolo, and at least having the Piccolo out there for the rest of the game, basically, because it has barrier, would be very good. But in this, so Vegeta the Cruel, the way that worked there, he so it doesn't actually counterplay my auto effect. So I got to play my Goku. His effect went off. I looked at top 3, drew a card, and then his Vegeta triggers, killing my Goku. And then I had to warp a card from hand, which I warped one of the Piccolos. I only need the 1 on board, but we basically need to find a time where he doesn't leave 2 up. And that's what's kind of hard against these counterplay decks, and that's another reason why I don't, this version at least, this Piccolo 3-drop and 4-drop are the highest costing things outside of my overwhelm card in the deck. Actually, there's the 5-drop Gohan there, and there's only 2 in this particular deck, but that's one of the changes I want to make coming up. The only reason he was still in this deck is because, you know, on the off chance I got to do the evolve, but there's only 2 copies in the deck, so it's not something I'm really banking on. Plus, he's just blue energy for me. But the more I play it, the more it's just not. It's hard to get a 3-drop Goku and then evolve afterwards in this meta right now, just because of so much counterplays. But I figured it's probably not worth it. So that is a card that's probably going to come out. But for now, it is in there. But yeah, so right now, the Piccolo is the highest end, right? So this version of the deck, I'm trying to go really low end. Oh, like, sorry, I guess there's the arrival cards that cost like 5 and 4. Those are higher costing. But the idea of the deck is to go low to the ground, get a bunch of guys for cheap, so that when they do things like counterplay, they're using 2, maybe 3 energy to counterplay something that only cost me 1 or 2 energy, right? So whereas their counterplay is pretty powerful and annoying, at least it's not as devastating if I were to, you know, tap 3 energy for that 3-drop promo Piccolo, and then it get denial of hope and it kind of just kills my whole turn. I tap out. Whereas if I go to low to the ground, right, play things like Saiyan Kaba or my arrivals for 1, right, if they want to denial of hope that for 2, well then sure, you use 2 energy for my 1, I'm still not tapped out and I can still keep going. So that's the general idea of what I was trying to go for with this deck. But right now, the Pan player, I really like the familiar bonds with this Vegeta, especially in the baby deck. So it's really cool to see him using it in the Pan deck. Yeah, but he swings here. I'm debating if I want to go to 5. Sorry, if I want to go to 4. And which damage to take. Now this one is an easy take, but I figured, you know what, I want to get my the arrival out, kind of, right, and lower this Vegeta down by 10, the dual attacking Vegeta at least, so that his next swing isn't so like powerful. Now whether it's the right idea, I'm not sure, but I figured I just want battle cards on the battlefield. Plus, but he still has 3 energy, so it is kind of risky. I still have my Roshi negate, which is probably what's gonna eventually end his turn, and because I want the Roshi negate out there so that on my turn I can combo him away to draw 2, so I don't have to invest any energy on a card for me to combo away. Because that is another thing that you have to play around with, right? I do have 2 of those 2-drop Piccolos, the green ones there, that I can combo away, which is really nice. But again, I don't want to use, if I can use energy on my opponent's turn and then use energy on my turn, it would be really nice. Oh, right now we're just talking because he, on his side, for an Octagon, for some reason, he can't see this Frieza. It's a question mark to him, so I'm just kind of telling him what it is and what it does. So my Hercule Buu lands, I minus his Vegeta 10k. Now that's another thing too, I kind of wanted him to maybe potentially counterplay this Hercule Buu, so he uses energy on his turn, so that he doesn't have the energy on my turn, but obviously he doesn't kind of go for it. Then I just Roshi negate this one, and then he saves his 3 energy, and that's another annoying thing, right? He saves his 3 energy, so now I have to think, okay, now how do I play something and avoid his, you know, counterplay cards, depending which one he has. Now he could have the 3-drop, that 5-drop Vegeta that costs 3 to kind of wipe my board. So that's kind of small things you need to play around as well here, right? So in order to play around at least that particular card, because if I were to just play a card down, he can wipe my whole board. So I figured I'd swing now just to get this Roshi off the board, so I can get my draw 2, because the draw 2 is probably the most important thing for your turn. So yeah, I just do this one right away, get my draw 2, and kind of see where my hand is at that point, and then see what he wants to do. Now I'm slowly building the advantage, right? Because one, I haven't awakened yet. He's already awakened. My card advantage is kind of like slowly building in a sense. But here I go. I want to get my arrival out, right? I figured because if I don't, then I'd have to do it on my leader swing, and I'm trying to find the best time to do it. Now I wish if that if that Roshi was a green one, I wouldn't have had to combo out so much, right? But we just throw him out there, and then we see what he does. So this is a great way to kind of see what kind of counterplays they have, and if they use it. Because my turn, it's still early in my turn, right? I really only used one energy, right? I still have my leader's untap ability if I awaken, right? So now I'm trying to see what he wants to do. If he doesn't do anything, then we can continue with our turns, swing with Gogeta, and you kind of like play like, you know, slowly, or one thing at a time. Wait for them to kind of commit to their turn, which he does. All right, so he throws out this Vegeta. So I was like, okay, well, that's pretty powerful. So I basically lose my board. This Vegeta is actually pretty nuts, but my auto still resolves. So I kill his Vegeta. His dude comes out. Now I probably could have just killed. No, I can only kill. Sorry, I can only kill 4. It's the other one that kills 20Ks. But yeah, so I killed that. His Digging Deep, just in case I can't beat him this turn, and at least Digging Deep doesn't punch me in the face. But because he has, now that he's tapped out and uses stuff, now I can safely play this Piccolo, and this Piccolo combo is pretty powerful. So yeah, I burst. You have to burst at 3, and then you get to play a guy. So now he's out there, which is like I said, once he's out there, this thing is mad value. And the fact that I already comboed, so I don't have to combo this Piccolo away, it feels so good, right? It just feels really powerful being able to do this. So now I'm pretty sure, actually, I think I just go for the board. Yeah, I must be just going for the board clear here, because this Piccolo will save me from dying, basically. Now now that I think about it, I actually can't see what my life is at, because the way I'm recording right now, I actually can't see. It's so small on my screen that I can't see, so that's actually something I didn't really consider. But now we're swinging. So now we're trying to go for board control, right? Because we have, 2 Sensuines. It's a decent enough defense. So I am at. Actually, I think I remember this now. I swung at the Vegeta to see what he would do. Now he defended it and he lost a card, right? So that's basically like me swinging into his leader. Was almost the same thing, right? Because if I swung at his leader and he kind of just threw a card, defended a card. But now if he let that Vegeta die, then that would have been a waste of attack for sure. So now I remember. I think I changed my mind halfway through. I swung at the Vegeta to see what he would do, and then when he defended it and lost a card, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just try going for face. And I think that's what I go for here. Now, if he let that Vegeta die, then that would have been a definite waste of that Piccolo. But yeah, so we swing with this, we untap our stuff. Now, yeah, I definitely should have probably just attacked with the leader, but I remember I attacked with him first because I knew I was going to combo him off. Actually, I'm remembering this turn now because he's in rest mode. I get to combo him off, get his green draw 2, get his green trigger from the from my rival, so that I can. Oh yeah, I accidentally drew 3 there, and I just put back the 1 card. I told him about it, but this is just practice, so it's not like a huge deal or anything. And then I combo my red so that I can rival the Kaioken, and this Kaioken is actually nuts, especially lined up with the Kaba. If you're at like 5, Kaba swing, go to 4, Kaioken's effect, go to 3. It's actually pretty. It's pretty sick, right? And as you can see, it's pretty low to the ground. I did play that Piccolo. And the Piccolo and stuff like that. I wonder if I should have just went this route and saved more of my energy, because now I'm down to like whatever. I think I was changing my mind as I was going. And again, this deck is still a work of progress. I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of it. So you will see me probably make a bunch of mistakes and misplays. But the more I play the deck, the more I find like, oh wow, this is actually pretty sick. So yeah, so I decide to just go all out and just kind of rival everything onto the board. Now I do have 1 dead 10k in my hand, but I was like, maybe I won't need it. His hand size, he's got to defend quite a lot. He's tapped out, so he has to have super combos or a bunch of 5s. So I hit 40, and I hit 40, but honestly, I keep doing this, but you should really hit those 5 numbers, like 35, 45, 55. Stopping at 40 kind of blows chunks, because it's like 3 10Ks, I guess. and then he can hit to that 45. Or if I went to 45, it'd be like 3 10Ks, 3 10Ks and a 5 type deal. So in this case, so when he starts throwing out those 5s like that, I'm thinking, okay, so again, obviously he's tapped out, so those are his last 2 super combos, right? And now everything I swing with, if I hit like 25, if he wants to defend, he has to throw 3 5Ks just to defend that. So I figured, maybe I'll just try going for like I take a life and go for like a double swing here, right? So I can swing, I'm pretty sure I go for the 25 numbers. So this is how I used to play the Gohan deck. I would always want to go double for game, right? Like build a big hand, then when they're at 4 life, swing, for 2 big swings for double strike, and they usually couldn't defend it, especially on such a low energy, and especially if they tap out like this. Now that's before Sparking Negates came out. Now there are Sparking Negates I have to worry about, but in this situation, it looks like he might not actually have it. He might not even have the stuff in his drop. But yeah, so I swung for 30 and he took it, right? So now I probably could have just went to 25 and made him pitch 3 cards, but now it's like, and if he does do that, then that's probably fine. But yeah, we swing, we do another big 30K. Sorry, this looks like 35. Now I'm kind of debating if I should keep going, because if I keep going, because this is basically me committing, right? And I go with this Piccolo, because if I don't think I can do it, then I would stop there, all right, and then maybe try to kill him with the other 2 or with the other 3, and at least have this Piccolo alive to help mitigate his turn and try to stop him from killing me, because Piccolo will be able to pick off a battle card and I could draw a card. But I go to 40 to see what he does. What does he do? He does 15, 25, 30, and then he throws out the GG, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so it was kind of a calculated thing. It was probably a bit risky what I did there, because an all-in attack for only, 20, 30, 40 isn't really the biggest, but you have to kind of gauge their hand size, they're tapped out, whether their deck can do this or that. It's pretty tight. So that was game 1. Let's just move on to game 2. Alright, so now into game 2. We are going second, I believe. Now, what we mulligan for, and obviously it changes game to game, and then obviously there's sideboards and all that kind of stuff, but this is kind of just the basics of the deck and what you're looking for. Now in this one, it's just the 1-drop Goku. You're always just looking for the 1-drop Gokus. Then the next lineup is like the 2-drop Piccolos, and then the 2-drop Friezas. You want things to kind of start your draw engine early on, right? Anything that can plus you, that can replace itself, and then you can swing combo it off to draw 2 to get everything going, is what you're looking for in the early game. But as you can see, our early game isn't terrible. We got 2 of the 1-drop Gokus, who are probably the best for the early game draw mechanic. We got our easy blue charge in that Gohan, so we're pretty good to go. We have a Piccolo. If we can draw into that next Piccolo, that'd be pretty sweet. The 3-drop Piccolo, but we are going second, so it is a lot harder to kind of get these things off, because they can play with more energy earlier than us. They can leave energy up, things like that, so it is going to be hard to kind of get that whole Piccolo thing going. But for now, like I said, this is the basic stuff. Play a card, replace itself, swing, draw 2, pass turn. So right now we're just trying to build a big hand size, so that when our opponent gets low enough, we can double them dead, or at least kind of take control of the game. Now that's another thing too you have to worry about. I'm not sure if he's playing a Chain Xeno deck in this version, but I'm pretty sure the dual colors don't, and the other version, the mono red versions, play Chain Xeno. So I wasn't expecting too much of a Chain Xeno in this deck. So I think for most of the part, I usually take it. Whenever people attack you with Gohan, unless it's like not beneficial to take the damage, honestly, you take as much damage as you can, because if they get you to 4, let's say if you're at 4 on 3 energy, you can kill them. Right? If you guys are both at 4 life, and you both have 4 life by 3-4 energy, you'll have more cards and you should be able to kill them. That was a big thing with Gohan, why he was good, because when leaders have to attack him and give him all the cards and help him awaken, oh baby, it's lights out. But for now, he counterplays my 1-drop to kind of stop my draw engine. I do whiff on this Goku, which is unfortunate, but luckily enough for us, we have another Goku, so we don't miss the draw engine. But you see what I mean though? We're playing low to the ground things, and he kind of almost has to, now whether he thinks it's right or not, or whether it is right or not, he has to kind of counterplay these things. Basically my 1-drops, right? He has to counterplay these low drop things that doesn't really cost me too much to invest into them, but for an investment for him is kind of costly, right? Obviously he would want like the ultimate, counterplay another, like, 2-drop 15k or something that's really beneficial. But right now I'm just kind of doing my draw engine, so it's not like I'm negging super hard. Now if he were to kill both those and I wasn't able to draw them, that would be super annoying. But luckily we were still able to get a draw engine because we drew into one of the Gokus, and that's why Goku's really powerful early, because he only costs 1, right? If I just played the 2-drop Piccolo there, or the 2-drop Frieza, he would have counterplayed, I would lose it, and then I wouldn't have a draw on that turn, and that would be very devastating. But still, him using counterplays on 1s and 2-drops isn't horrible. It's somewhat bad in our deck, but not super horrible, right? So now he's on 3 energy. Now he has to determine. Now obviously we want him to play stuff. I would love if he played a 3-drop right now, tapped out, and then I could play my 3, and get that whole 3-4 off. And that's why that's like the highest end of this almost curve, in the sense that paying 3 energy is a lot of energy, especially when it's so susceptible to counterplay. And there's a lot of 4-drop things that are right in that sweet zone too, right, where they're 4 and under, to hit by preemptive, or they're 20k and under to hit by denial of hope, things like that. So a lot of 3 and 4 drops are susceptible to counterplay, which makes it tricky to play them, and that's why this Gohan deck's actually that's why I really like this Gohan deck, because a lot of things we play to get our board wide, it costs about 1 to 3 energy max. Now we have higher cost things, but with our rivals, a lot of things cost 1. The Piccolo 3-drop is probably the most expensive thing in our deck to pay 3 for. And obviously right now if I were to play it, I would just walk straight into a counterplay, so I can't play that. So this turn I'm trying to determine what can I do, right, to get my draw engine. I can play the Gohan, right, the 3-drop, kill his guy, but then if it gets counterplayed, I won't get the draw engine, then I'm tapped out. I could play the Roshi just to swing and draw, but is that like the best play? I can just save it for a negate. So it's actually really tricky what to do here. So now I'm pretty sure I elect to just swing here, get him lower to get him to 4, so I can double him and dead. I don't really care if he's awakened or anything like that. Now whether that's the right play or not, I'm not 100% sure, because one, I'm missing out on my draw engine here. But I do want him low so I can double him dead, but I really don't want to walk into a counterplay. But however, sometimes you kind of just need to eat the counterplays, one, to just get them out of their hand, and just hope he doesn't, hope he makes a mistake later and, taps energy to the point where I can kind of go wide. My hand isn't like super good or anything, so I'm trying to wait till I get a little bit lower too, so I can fully utilize all of my energy, right? Get like my untap, get 2 more, so that when he does do a counterplay, taps himself out, I'll still have access to all my energy to keep playing more things, right? Whereas right now with 3 energy, anything I play will probably get counterplayed, and I would just kind of lose out on my turn. So I figured, just swing past. I have a Roshi negate, so that's out on his turn, right? So that I can at least combo that on my next turn, and then go from there and see where I can go from there. But he is slowly he's building an advantage on me, right? He's getting a board. He's still not like close to dead or anything like that, so it is getting a bit tricky for me here. I need to figure a way, one, to control his board, which is another thing that Gohan kind of lacks, in the sense that maybe I kind of want to play an overwhelm like the Black Mass Saiyan to kind of like, or at least have him in the sideboard. The reason I like the Bardock that I'm playing right now is because he's a free energy, draw 2, pitch 1, so I can pitch like kind of dead cards in my hand, and he doesn't cost energy. But maybe in the sideboard I can throw in things like Black Mass Saiyan for matches like this, where I need to at least control the board a little bit, which would be really nice. But for now, he's starting to go a little bit more aggro on me. Now I gotta determine what I can and can't do. So seeing him do this, I figured, okay, well, he's probably going to do the whole familiar bonds, grab him back, and start punching my face. So I have to determine, because obviously I want to get to the point where I'm awakened, but I don't want to start having to guard at 4 life and kind of, take this. And that's why the super combo is actually really powerful in this deck, because you can guard at 5 life, which a lot of people forget sometimes. So when you're at 5, you can guard, so then you can just take the 5 that's really hard from 5 to 4, but defend the ones that hit you from 5 to 4 that are like kind of easy, that you can do super combos, right? If he swings a 15k into my 10, I can just super combo defend, stay at 5, and then not take some of the big shots, right? Now if he comes with a big shot from my 5 to 4, then I can probably just say, you know, screw it, I'll just let that one hit me in the face if I don't want to guard it. But now he's doing the whole digging deep thing. So this is a really good play for him too, because being able to, you know, tap out like he is right now, get yourself to the self-awakening point, or not self-awakening, but awakening point, untap 2, leave 2 up for a counterplay. That's usually a pretty powerful play for a lot of these decks. Now is exactly what he's doing here. So this is a bit tricky for me. I kind of got to figure out how I wanted to guard this, because I'm most likely going to try to kill him on my turn. At least try to. I'm not sure if I can, but we need to save our hand, preserve our life. Now, if you're really confident in being able to kill him, like depending how your hand looks, honestly, I would just take all of these shots all the way down to like 2, 1, whatever he thinks is comfortable, or whatever he thinks he keeps going, and then try to kill him from there. But I wasn't exactly sure if I could kill him. One, because he still has his 2 energy up. There's sparking negates in the game now, so it's a bit harder to double somebody dead. Especially if he plays like that Gogeta that he can that I'm playing, that he can combo and just kill my dudes. That could be very, very tricky, because usually you would want to go like 2 big numbers. You can like double somebody and go 80k double strike, and then win game. But if they can just pop your guy, it gets pretty scary. So I swing negate here on the big one. Now I almost want him to attack with his Trunks, because if anything, I would want to try to kill it on my turn, so he can't get a chain attack evolve. But he didn't attack. So now I'm trying to think. Okay, he has 3. He has board. Right. I have a good hand size. Can I kill him with the hand I have? If not, I should either go for board control and hope he can't kill me. The Roshi, having that Roshi out here is really nice. Being able to swing, draw, and combo him off. But we basically got to see what he does, and especially with these counterplay cards, I really need to see what I can and can't do, but kind of slowly, right, one at a time. You don't want to kind of just like throw everything on board and then let him like run a train on you and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go this, draw 2, get some more hand size information, kind of determine where it's at. Now drawing into this Gogeta was pretty big, so it's like, okay, I know I can kill something. 1, I can probably kill something. 2, I might be able to bait out a counterplay with it, tapping him out, and then I can fully extend my turn with, you know, Kabas, Awakens, and things like that. But we'll see what we do. You gotta slowly play one thing at a time and see what he tries to do. And then it determines, right? If he counterplays this, stops me from awakening or something like that, or does stuff, that we can kind of play it by ear. But for now, we swing with this. See if he uses any of his energy. Maybe he, you know, throws out a Vegeta to combo into play, going down to 1 energy, so knowing that we can safely play things and not get, you know, denial of hope and things like that. So hopefully we bait him into using some kind of energy somewhere, because if he doesn't use his energy, that means he has to either just use super combos or 5Ks to defend, and he can't use any 10Ks that may be clogging his hand, right? Now if he does use an energy, then that's when we're like, okay, we can't get counterplayed. We're going in, boys. So for 2 energy investment here, I can gauge what his hand can and can't do defensively. Sometimes, you know, maybe he uses a counterplay here so that it opens up the rest of my turn. Just slowly, for 1 energy, I can get a lot of information to kind of see what it is. Now he lets that one go through. I kill the Trunks, and then, you know, kind of see where the rest of this turn plays out. But slowly but surely, we will get him to tap those energy so we can figure out what we want to do. So right now I'm thinking if I should keep going harder. And this is another thing too. I'm still, like I said, playing aggro is a lot different than playing other decks, right? And there's a lot of things with sequencing, how much you combo, especially when you have Sensu Beans, whether you need to untap or how much energy you want to untap, things like that. Now I've figured, I'm slowly, and a lot of things change throughout the turn. Like halfway through this turn, I can determine, okay, wait, now I can go for game, or halfway this turn, I can be like, I should probably stop trying to go for game, or, you know, it kind of depends how he plays it out. So it kind of determines how I play out the rest of the turn or what I can and can't do. So you'll probably see me making a lot of mistakes or change my minds, because aggro decks, I swear, are actually a lot harder to play than a lot of people think. People think, you know, aggro is just, you know, swing, swing, swing until somebody dies, but there is a lot of things to do with counting combo power and sequencing and hand advantage, hand size, and thinking about all these little things. Now, for now, I'm pretty sure we're at, what, 15, 25, 35, 40? Again, I think you should really hit those 45 numbers, but for some reason I decided to go 40 double strike. Now, if he does waste his hand to kind of combo it, it's actually not so bad. But we'll determine how much super combos he has in his hand right now, right? And then if he does, maybe if he has all 3 super combos, he throws all super combos, then we know he only has 5Ks to defend with, unless he wants to tap his energy for a 10K, which in that case, that's not so bad for us. But for now, because he's at 25, he still needs a little bit more. Yeah, so he does have the other super combo, 15, 25, 35, and then probably, I don't think he has a third one. If he did, that would be shitty. But if he throws 2 5Ks, I think he's determining whether if he to throw 2 5Ks or just suck it up and pay the 1 energy for a 10K, right? And if he does that, then that opens up the rest of my turn, right? So these are the little small things that you have to kind of consider when playing out these turns like this. So it does look like he decides to throw the 2 5Ks out here, which once you start seeing that, it really shapes their hand, right? Because once you start seeing people throw out 5Ks like this when they needed a 10K defend, they either one are trying to bait you and showing they thinking that they don't have any more super combos, or 2, they actually just have only 5Ks left in hand, or in this case he probably doesn't want to waste a 10K because he doesn't want to use that energy. But we're still at full energy. I haven't awakened yet. I got two attacks off. I still have a 3rd attack to go. His hand is slowly dwindling, so now we're trying to figure out, you know, what's the best course of action here. So now I'm probably just I play this Goku. I'm pretty sure I awaken so that when I swing with my Gogeta, I can, you know, do the draw 2 play here. Now, actually, I think this is where I make the mistake. I should have played that Frieza. I was thinking about this too. I should have played the Frieza for 2, awakened, untapped 2, but I completely forgot for some reason. I even forgot to untap. I don't even know what I was thinking here. It's actually very easy to get distracted when you're at home playing on the computer like this, but yeah, I completely forgot to do it. We're talking about it now, so I end up just untapping my energy and we continue on. Now, obviously, if this is just practice, so it's not like it's a big deal or anything. You always want your opponent to play almost the optimal lines when you're practicing with them, because if most of the time you're playing and they're just making a bunch of mistakes, no one's really they're learning kind of off the mistakes, but you still want both players to kind of go through the game optimally, because you can't really bank on your opponent constantly making mistakes like this. So moving on with the turn, now we are going for another double strike, another big number double strike, because we still have a Kaba to play. We still have our Kais to give something double strike if we need to try to game them. However, swinging with the leader sometimes early kind of stinks, because obviously the leader is usually the safest thing to give a double strike to for a game, because it can't get, you know, like Shigesh Goku'd, if you will, like with these new Gogetas or God Striked and things like that. So this one's a bit tricky, right? But again, we've only used 2 energy. Obviously, I didn't maximize, actually 3 energy. I didn't maximize my energy play when I played the 1-drop. I should have played the Frieza, because I could have at least swung with the Frieza and then comboed him off afterwards. Awaken and then like swung with him, swung with the Gogeta, and then comboed, so I get like kind of more bang for my buck. But I swing there, he takes the 2, I play the Kaba, again another only 1 energy investment, and he has to determine, is it time for him to play his counterplay, right? If he doesn't, then I can, you know, swing with Kaba and try to game him here. But if he does, then, you know, we'll see where he'll be tapped out, and we see where we can go from there. Now then, if he had a sparking negate, that could be pretty scary as well. But we'll see what happens here. So he does decide to Vegeta the Cruel this. So he pops my Kaba. I lose that, and then I lose another card. Now I'm trying to determine how much energy I have here. What should I do? Now, the thing too here is, I could probably play this Frieza and try to swing game him, you know, with the Kais and stuff like that. I could go 3-drop Piccolo into 4-drop Piccolo, which I love the card because we have Senzu Beans and Unyieldings. There's so much we can do here, but I'm pretty sure I just do the Frieza so that I can swing with him, dump hand, you know, Unyielding, Senzu Bean, all that kind of stuff, dump hand, and then just double strike him for game. However, if he had a Sparking Negate there, that could have been pretty tricky for me because I would have not have any more attacks to kind of go through. Whereas if I maybe played the Piccolo and pulled out another Piccolo, I could at least swing, see if he's Sparking Negates, and if he does, then I can at least swing with the other one, Unyielding, untap, and then combo that off. But in this case, I just got lucky. I guess he didn't have the Sparking Negate. I dumped hand, he's tapped out. I go, what, 15, 20, 25, 35, 45, 50, 60, and he shows me his hand, and that's what we're dealing with. When people tap out, that's what these counter plays, right? You're almost sending 2 energy from a negate. Now when decks can go wide on you after you counterplay and just keep pushing, what do? Especially if your hand is clogged like this, right? So that was a situation where it just worked out beneficial for me. He had a really dead hand, a lot of counterplay stuff, which can get really cloggy in your hand, arrival things. So that's something people need to work out on their ratios. I still want to tinker with my deck. But overall, that was a pretty good matchup, good display of how aggro and how wide this deck can go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for Sunday when we do another Gohan Deck Doctor on my Twitch stream, and stay tuned for another gameplay video versus a mono Pan deck coming up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.